Sairam. Well, today's Chintan and Manthan, the discussion deliberation. The topic is nothing specific. We are basically Avadhutas. We belong to Avadhuta Sampradaya. So we are based on the Shastras. Our practices are Shastras. To us, Shastras are nothing but books of science. Vedas are books of science. Said more so possibly poetically or poetic way, or a narrative is in a different language. Energies have been given a certain name. The forces of energy have been given certain names. For example, Indra, the king of heaven, Vayu is the force of air, Varuna is water, so Agni is fire. Likewise, we have given the name and a form, possibly, so that the people can comprehend and understand more easily. I wouldn't say better, but surely easily. So basically, these are all the books of science. So the narrative is more in a human form and names, right? In India, it is very common that we keep the names of the newborn. People carry the names of elements. Varuna is rain or water. Agni is fire. Prutha is earth. Prithvi is earth. These are all the names, right? We Jahnavi, Mother Sita's name, the one who emanated from earth. So it is very, if you just, the universal secrets are always hiding in plain sights. If you look at it logically, you will know that your names are nothing but elements or in the nature, right? Prakriti is a name, Prakriti means a nature. So likewise, from the days of Vedas, Vedic days, we have always had scientific bent of mind, life, and practices. However, the influence of scientific opinions is receded, and we just stick to the name without knowing the name, meaning of the name in our own Shunya Kriya. So, if I take, let us say, any name of our own name, Ananta is eternal. So it explains the law of eternity. Kalol is not destruction. Kalol is the implosion, the big bang which happened then. So imagine the way we have, always imbibed nature and whatever is occurring in the nature in our names and day-to-day life. But the problem is we have forgotten the true meaning. We have only stuck to the name, right? Soma is nothing but Chandra, means peace, tranquility. We don't know. We just call Shomaji, Kalolji, Anandji, right? Likewise. Anyway, we will get going. So that being the basis of our heritage, being the Sanatanis that we are, and scientific bent of mind, particularly we Avadhutas are very logical. We try to rationalize. We also believe in spiritual free will, not the free will of the atheists, but spiritual free will. To that extent, we accept everything which is explained logically. So, this being the background of our Chintan Manthan today, let us take up some subjects, one or two, whichever the time permits, based on the scientific theories, right? So this will be a dialogue. We'll all come together, discuss. try to arrive at yogic interpretation of laws of physics, theories of physics. We will simplify because they are very too heavy on people's mind. But if you dive deep into anything, it is very simple. The universal secrets are very simple. Sarvasvam shunyam, right? There is nothing. But nevertheless, contemporary physics, quantum mechanics. So likewise, I was just thinking of taking up a certain topics very lightly. Let us not get into technicalities of it. We will go by the basics. And then we will arrive at our interpretation as yogis and avadhutas. First thing which intrigued me was the laws of gravity, law of gravity versus the practice of levitation, right? Gravity and levitation are contradictory. Levitation defies the law of gravity. Now, let us talk about law of gravity, theory of gravity, and levitation. I request Monica to unmute everybody. We can participate.
Everybody is allowed to unmute themselves. It's not
Right.
talk.
Okay. So am I right in my understanding about law of gravity? That gravitational force is what is holding us
Yes,
together,
Bhaiya. Correct.
right? We are all
Yes, Bhaiya.
on Earth because of gravity, correct?
Yes, Bhaiya. Correct.
So, does levitation happen, or if it happens, how it happens? Yogically, we try to defy the law of gravity and we try to levitate. Now, let us not take up the levitation. Can yogis actually do the levitation or not? We will definitely address. No question will be brushed under the carpet. But to start with, gravity versus levitation, law of motion. For example, I have this question. Now, let us say we are traveling in a car. We'll make these big theories and philosophies a very simple understanding. Now, let us say we are traveling in a car. And for a moment, let us say we are levitating in the car which we are sitting. Simple. We're traveling in a car. And in the car, sitting in the car, you are levitating. What happens once you are in a car and you are moving towards a particular direction? The vehicle is moving at a certain speed and velocity, and you are sitting in the car and you are levitating. Let's say that you are levitating. So what should actually happen? When you are levitating, the car moves. So you should remain static, right? Where you have levitated from. So maybe you'll hit the edge of the car, bang to the edge of the car because you're levitating. Because the car is moving in a particular velocity. Let us say there is a flight. Let us not talk about levitation. Let us take literally. There is a flight which is not flying, but because of its power, it is hovering in the car. So, have we observed that fly is also moving at the same speed of the car, though it is hovering at one particular place inside
Yes,
the
yes, yes.
correct?
Absolutely.
But does it make sense if you go by the law of physics? It should not, right? Because it's hovering in one place. It's not flying in any direction. It's not flying with the car. It is just hovering, static. So it is also moving with the car. But my question is, it should, if it is static, car moves, it hits, right? Or if the window or the back door, this one, back window, if there is any and it is open, it has to fly out. Isn't it?
True.
So what is happening? My question is, what is happening? Second thing, which is messing people's mind. Let us say there is a gas air balloon. Air balloons we see in many of these places. It rises from the surface of the earth to a particular height and remains there. And earth is moving on its own axis. In 12 hours, the earth has moved. Does the hot air balloon, which is suspended in the mid-air due to the helium gas which is filled in the balloon and due to the heat in it, and the whole hot air balloon has gone up, earth is moving on its own axis. In, let us say, 12 hours, it is there. Will it move along with the movement of the earth, or does it remain there and earth has moved? What's the answer?
But that is true for all of us, right?
No, I'm not saying which
The
is
earth is
all of
moving.
us are not. My question is it happening that way or not? We'll go to that. We'll come to theory of relativity.
Bhaiya, this is a skittish thing to ask. But is the balloon tied up somewhere?
No,
No.
no.
Then I
It
think
is
it does.
hovering in one place, Baba. It is static.
Mm,
It is not tied to the earth. The hot air balloon has gone up.
mm,
We are talking about two situations. We are discussing science here. One, there is a fly in the car, a moth or something, which is not flying at the velocity of the car which is traveling, at the speed at which the car is traveling. It is just hovering. And there is this hot air balloon in the field, which is not, the rope is not tied to the earth, but it has gone to a particular height, altitude, and it is static there. What happens in 12 hours after if that hot air balloon is static at a particular height from the earth? And what happens to the fly which is hovering within the car? Logically, as per the book of science, if the earth is revolving on its own axis, and if the hot air balloon is detached from the earth, defying the gravity by the presence of helium in the balloon, it has gone up, it has levitated. Let's say that is levitation. Should it not be logical to experience that this hot air balloon is there, earth has moved? The location where the hot air balloon has elevated from has changed. Isn't it? I mean, I'm asking.
Yes, Priya. Priya, can I
Yes, correct.
share something?
Yeah, ideally it
Yeah.
should.
So in physics, there is a term called as referential inertia.
Correct. I was
So
correct there. Yeah.
yeah, until, for example, because this discussion, had bothered me a couple of years back, that suppose if I'm in a train and I'm juggling the ball, so why the balls are falling in my hand only? And I mean, I'm not a physics student, I'm not a science student, I'm not that
But
literate.
you're an Avadhuta.
Oh yes. So then I actually read about this. For example, if I talk about the physics, now Earth is engulfed in that environment that we have. And when we go outside that, there is a geostationary orbitary position. So once it reaches to that, probably like, I think a few thousand kilometers above the Earth, then it becomes a geostationary. So, it moves along with the Earth. And then, because there is no resistance there. So once the rockets are fired, it is placed in one position, it is set into a motion by an external force. It will actually sync along with the speed and the velocity at which Earth is moving. Now, but if the
E is
Sorry?
equal to mc square.
correct, if that object is within that atmosphere, then there is a external reference which is also the air. Okay. Now, while air is not, it is not creating the pressure at its own, and if so, whatever position it is set in, the object will continue to remain in the state of inertia if no external object is applied on that. Now, if I'm sitting in the car, I am directly in. I mean, this may sound very illogical, or maybe like I'm just thinking actually aloud that I'm moving, but that fly is not in contact with anything, and probably that could be the reason.
No.
Okay.
You're right that it is not in contact with anything. So where is the gravitational force? See, gravitational force is from Earth.
Correct.
Correct. Earth is a magnet. We put it
Yeah.
very simply. So the vehicle is there is an external energy which is induced to the vehicle.
Correct.
Engine is moving the car. The wheels are moving.
Yes, Bill.
The vehicle is not a source of gravity. Vehicle is also on Earth because of gravity.
Correct.
So if you are looking at it through the eyes of gravitational force, the fly which is in the vehicle, it should be connected to the gravitational force of Mother Earth, right?
Yes.
Because the vehicle in which it is also there on Earth because of gravity. So where is it? How is it that though it is hovering, it is not flying with the space of the automobile which it is in? It is just hovering in one place but it moves along. Why? That is the question. Now coming to the hot air balloon we discussed about. You are saying about inertia. Okay. So if the gravitational force works in a manner, why I gave these two examples, which messes with our mind, is because let us say the hot air balloon is connected to this is the hot air balloon connected to Mother Earth at that point, and it is connected with the since it is connected or elevated from a particular place, it is there and it keeps moving along. That is what you said.
Yes, Bill.
Right? Accepted. Then why doesn't the fly move, bang to the door or fly out of the car? If that is true. That's why I gave these two examples.
Is it because of the mass of that object?
No.
Mass of inertia and the mass of
mass has no relative. Mass has no reason. Either one of them has to be right. No. If the hot air balloon has risen above the surface of the earth due to gravitational force, it has, that again is debatable though, but still for a moment accept that it is in the same spot and it moves along with the earth. 1 point argument. Inertia, what you said.
correct.
That should be applicable even to the fly in the car, no?
Yes, Bill. Yeah,
One question. One question. Just
zero down.
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
if the car breaks suddenly, then what will happen?
it should remain as a, I mean, it should bang to the front of the car.
The passenger's upper portion of the body will go forward because of the inertia of motion, the
Correct.
kinetic energy.
Correct.
And that fly also will go and bang to the next, I mean, the dashboard or the seat.
That is the question. If it is driven
If
by
the car stops, immediately the body, upper portion of the body will try to move forward.
because we are connected, we are not hovering.
Yeah, that is the kinetic, that is the
Kinetic
inertia, that
energy.
is the kinetic movement is still there,
Correct.
isn't it? Why we take the seat belt?
Because we
protect
don't
that.
want to bang ourselves to the front of the car.
Yeah, that's how so there is a possibility there is no seat belt, will go and bang because the upper portion of the body is still in the movement
Correct.
if the car stops,
Correct. Suddenly.
isn't it?
Yes.
So that is one aspect. But your question also is a little different, that we the fly in the middle of the air, car is moving, and still it is also moving in the same speed.
That's my
First
question.
of all,
That is my question. If
so
that
I
is,
mean that already when it was, the kinetic energy already induced. I mean, when the car starts, it was in the system. It didn't come all of a sudden from the open window. It was there. The car started running. Suppose 80 km/h basis. The passenger also gained the same speed. The fly also gained the same speed.
no,
Now
no.
it is in a
Kinetic
different level.
energy, can kinetic energy be induced in a state of suspended state? If you are suspended,
Kinetic.
there is no kinetic energy, correct? If you are suspended, there is no kinetic energy. When any satellites go into the space,
No,
because of
again,
lack of
if we
gravity, it
think
is
in that way,
suspended.
if we suppose a car is, it is basically, suppose a car is moving in a certain particular speed, and a boy is running beside the, suppose a cycle, someone is cycling and a boy is running beside the cycle, and both are, if they achieve the same speed, then
It feels it
both
is
are,
static.
actually, static. One respect to other, they are static.
No, that is a perception of the mind. See, let us say a train is passing at 100 kilometers an hour speed, and next to that, another train comes and starts passing at the same speed, 100 kilometers an hour speed. So you feel
The
when
same
you
direction.
each other in the same direction, you feel that it is
Then
static.
one can jump from one train to another train.
Another train.
Because
Okay.
it is,
Yes. The same thing, if that one train which is next to us, and if it goes even faster,
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 but the
then
velocity
you
will
feel
be,
that the
it
train
is
which you
not
are
as
sitting
fast
in,
as, but the person who stands on the station, he will see the train will go very fast.
very fast.
But the passenger in the other train will see the train will go slow and cross it. Because suppose one goes in 100 and one is other goes is 120 kilometers. So for him it will be 120 minus 120 kilometers per hour. Only the net result.
So the net result is what the mind processes, because when the train is moving at 100 kilometers of speed and the other train is also moving at 100 kilometers an hour speed,
Both are static.
they are static. They feel they are static. But once let us say the train B is moving at 150, the train A is at 100, then the people sitting in the train A feel that they are static and this is moving faster.
This is moving, yes.
People who are
But
in
not
train
as
B will look
fast.
at train A and they feel that the train A is static and they are moving faster. That is the play of mind, perceptions, brain. But here my question is about the gravity, and how is it that the fly which is suspended in the car, a vehicle or in a train, which it is mobile, is moving along with it? If that is true, then one of them has to be right. Gravitational force, inertia, and everything of the hot air balloon, which is connected to a place, which again is debatable. It is again suspended, and Earth is on its own axis and revolving. How is it that it is moving along? Or is it moving along with the same place, or is it static and the Earth is moved? That is the question. And if that is true, the theory of inertia, then how is it that the fly is suspended but it is moving along with the vehicle, inside of the vehicle? The answer in Shastras to this, which I am not authorized or I am not an expert to comment on the theories of science, modern day science. The Shastras speak about this as creation of your own atmosphere. Creation of space within the space has its own characteristics of the space within which it has created or out of which it has been created. The gravitational force of Earth and the same vehicle which is made from the elements of the Earth only. There is nothing which is outside of the Earth, whether it is tire, the rim, the body of the vehicle, the seats, the chairs, the engine, the fuel, everything has come from the Earth, right?
Yes,
So
absolutely.
that a separate entity which has been created from the elements of the Earth has created its own atmosphere is what Vedas say. Vedas take that paradigm shift. A positive blood, if it is drawn from a person, it can be induced into another person who has same A positive blood, and that's it, everything matches. It can be transfused. So the person's blood is being given to another person, which is not a problem since it is matching. But look at it in a larger perspective, blood of a person given to another person gives a new force of life to that person. Likewise, elements out of the earth with which an automobile has been made has all the characteristics of the earth, which creates its own atmosphere, within which the vehicle has its own gravitational force, due to which the fly which is inside the vehicle in a suspended state moves along with the vehicle, says the Shastras. Atharvana Veda. Does it make sense to us?
Yeah, perfect. Absolutely.
Like the characteristics, the blood of a person of one particular blood group can be given to the one with the same blood group. So the characteristics or the components of this person's blood is the same as that person's. It suits and it has gone into the other person and he has recovered. Likewise, the characteristics of the earth, the elements in which this automobile is made out of, has all the characteristics of the energies or the qualities of earth, due to which it creates another atmosphere of its own with the qualities and characteristics of the source from which it has been made.
That means that Bijakshar Bhaiya that you mentioned about, like that's the source of everything. That sound.
We'll get to that. We are still sticking to the physics.
Okay.
This is a theoretic physics. See, physics, the moment it comes, there are so many laws of physics which have ever evolved. What Newton said, Edison did not, others did not say, they changed the theories. Even the theories of physics are ever evolving. But just that theories of Shastras are always condemned, but that is consistent. It is already evolved and said. Till such Puranas की बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ. I am against Puranas. I restate that I am dead against Puranas. I condemn Puranas, but nevertheless. But Shastras are very clear about it. Now, if you say that the vehicle which is made out of the elements which are available on Earth or which is from the Earth, the vacuum or the space which you have created within the vehicle in which the fly is suspended has all the characteristics of the source which is Earth, including that of the gravitational force. Does it sound logical? Then I'm asking.
Yes, of course.
So
Yeah, definitely.
this is what the Shastras explain. I don't know when physics will comprehend all these things. Right? Likewise, the earth from which the hot air balloon is made. Every component, the basket in which people sit, the balloon which it is made of, the helium gas which it has been filled with, the ropes which are tied to the basket, the flame creator below the hot air balloon, the fire and the fuel, everything is from earth. It is not connected with a rope, yet it moves along with the movement of the earth. Is because it has the characteristics of the earth, because the source of those elements is earth. In other words, you have created your own universe. Atmosphere, we call it as universe. The same thing as per the Shastras, when a Trishanku Swarga has been created, people will laugh. How can anybody create something? Are you're doing the same at a minuscule level. When I respect Puranas for what they have contributed, but Trishanku Swarga as per Puranic stories is the same. It has all this Trishanku Swarga. Swarga is a heavenly abode which has been created by God for Trishanku, who stays neither there nor here in Trishanku Swarga creation, has all the atmosphere of Swarga in it, created by the divine. It's the same. Right? Anything anyone wants to add, or is it getting very boring?
Yeah, this, if we talk in the language of physics, can we call it as a theory of relativity?
It is. This is theory of relativity. Theory of relativity explained in a very simple manner so that people can understand and comprehend easily. Science is always trying to complicate things and makes things so difficult for people to understand. I don't know what is the purpose, why they want to make it so difficult so that people don't understand, live ignorant. They can always simplify it. Whether it is language that we use for communication or explanation of scientific theories or science in every form, should be as simple as possible, as easy to comprehend as possible. But the physicists have to make these calculations, mathematics, these E is equal to mc square, this and that, a common man's mind cannot comprehend. They want to make it that way complex because they're brainy. Jnana yogis and their yogic ego, spiritual ego. They don't want common men to comprehend all these things because they are great. Why can't they make things easily acceptable or understandable? This is theory of relativity. How the theory of relativity evolves is by creating your own atmosphere. The creation of atmosphere has happened because the creation of the element, creation of an object in which the atmosphere is created, it has come from the same source of elements. That's all. So it carries the same characteristics. This is theory of relativity. In my basic understanding of science and physics. So, did you all have anything to comment, or is it boring, or
It is very interesting, but again, the levitation part, if we come
how to
back
do
and
the levitation?
hmm,
Correct.
the yogic
Yogic levitation.
order.
Yeah, we can get there. So, have we concluded the what is the object in which the atmosphere is created? And that object carries all the characteristics and qualities of the source from which the atmosphere is created inside of that object, including gravity. That is why the fly, which is suspended in the middle of a moving car, does not bang itself to any part of the car, front or back. It moves along with the car. Clear? Explained by Shastras, Atharvana Veda. So, shall we go on, or hello, I want everybody to comment, or
This is very interesting. We are never pondered it this way. Yeah, I mean, I've been hearing of it a lot of stories about how uh, science that we talk about is mentioned in our Shastra. Like yesterday, I was talking to my brother-in-law. He's an astrophysicist here in Bangalore. So we were just having a discussion on the same topic, that how Nagarjuna, Rishi Nagarjuna discovered and mentioned that the molecules, everything is made of molecules, and molecules connect in a very random fashion. Actually, it is not fixed for everything, and that's the basis of it, and that's what the Western science also discovered, that everything is made of atoms and molecules, which had been there. The reference of that is there in our scriptures. The going as back as 4,500 years old.
12,000 years.
Oh,
12,000 years.
yeah. This is
Veda.
really very interesting, and
Anyway. Right.
and that also, like one of the thing that has really impacted me a lot is what Ramana Maharshi had said, that everyone is an extension of you, and everyone is an extension, and that is how we all are connected. So it makes perfect sense, actually, that how we are connected to each other, how we get attracted to each other, how we uh, you know get impacted by each other. And when we start looking at everyone as an extension of ourselves, and that is where the all the emotions, the anger, the frustration, the hatred, the jealousy, all the human emotions will come up. And as we start to work to neutralize and be an observer, be a sakshi of those emotions, those will start to get neutralized, and that's where the real compassion for self and for others comes in. It makes so much of sense here.
Exactly. Now, the same thing is, since you have quoted my love, Mr. Sri Ramana Maharshi. Sorry, should not use Mr. Ramana. I just love him. So when somebody went and approached Ramana, what you explained this, in one word, Ramana has explained. Somebody asks Ramana, Ramana, how should I treat the other person? Ramana gives one answer. There is no other person. Finished. How do I treat the other person? Ramana's one word answer. There's no other person. That is Advaita. What you said that we are all one is Advaita. What we say that non-dualism is the true meaning, even scientifically, we are all non-dual. Not just as a conscience, even as a sthula sharira, we are not different from one another. We are all one. Because remember, science, with due respects to Charles Darwin, single cell creature divided itself to multi-cell creature. Correct? So going by that logic, the source, the origin, we were all just one cell from which we all have become. So how different are we? The same cell multiplied into billions and millions and trillions and trillions. Trillions of trillions. And it has evolved. That's all. If you look at it logically also, there is no other person. There is no Nishan, there is no Ravindra. Just one. Right?
I have one more question, if you allow me.
Please.
It's making me quite curious now. So there are two things. One is when we talk about that karmic pattern, we all say that we have Sanchit Karma, we have Prarabdha Karma. And one thing, a couple of years back, what I had asked someone and the answer that I got was quite interesting, that how do we ensure that the Sanchit Karmas that we have and that what we're living through. So we all, right from the childhood, we have heard that I have heard that we are living through our karmas. How do we ensure that we are not adding more to it? And the simple answer that I got from the person was that by stop resisting, because when you resist anything, you are adding more to your karma. That's first question. I mean, is that true? And also, like, how do we ensure that we are not adding more to our baggage? That's first question. And second is the scientific reference to it, because this, again, I had a discussion on the same topic yesterday with my brother-in-law. Science, whatever cannot be proven doesn't exist for science. What is the scientific
That is the
reference?
problem of the science.
Correct.
None
Correct.
of our problems. We Avadutas are different. We care a damn if they don't accept.
Okay.
Because they also depend only on theoretic physics. That's their problem, not ours. Anyway, go ahead.
Correct. Yeah. So second question was this one only. Bhaiya. Is there any scientific reference, the way you explained that theory of relativity and inertial reference, to that oneness? Is there a reference for the karmic patterns as well?
First, to answer your first question, Lord Krishna has very clearly said, how do you ensure that you don't add more karma phalas into the Sanchita Karma, container of Sanchita Karma? The answer is one word. You have to practice Nishkama Karma. Nishkama Karma means deeds devoid of desires. Deeds devoid of expectations. Karmanyevadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. What it means is you do not worry about the fruits of your deeds. You have to do your deeds without any expectations, which is called as Nishkama Karma. In other words, Karma Yoga. Not resist.
Okay.
Sorry?
No.
Not resisting. You can't resist. You can't stop from occurrences of the world with or without your participation. Even non-participation with the occurrences of the world is also a karma. I am not doing anything. Not doing anything is also a doing. Sitting quiet is also something which you're doing. So there is no escape from karma when you're in the body. The only way out is Nishkama Karma.
This is so simple, actually.
It is, as I always say, everything is very simple. There is nothing which you can resist. Whoever said that you should not resist is right and wrong. Wrong as in, like, that is not a solution. The Sankalpa Rahita Karma, Nishkama Karma, the deed devoid of expectations, deeds devoid of the results, desires, is how you practice karma. But be rest assured, whatever deed you do, there is karma phala. When it has to come, you leave it to me. Yoga kshemam vahamyaham. I will look after your well-being. That's my responsibility. What Lord Krishna said. When I have to give, I know, because I know what is right for you. For example, you win a lottery at the age of 20, 21 of 1 crore. What will you do? You blow up the money, buy a car, spend on parties, travel, shop, and do all those things. At the same time, the same 1 crore comes to you at the age of 31. You're more responsible. You'll discharge your duties. You'll clear your obligations. You are in a better space. You're better matured. So should you get that 1 crore at the age of 21 or at the age of 31? Now, who will decide? The divine. When it comes to you, when it has to come to you, it will come to you. You do your deeds. You buy the lottery ticket.
Got it, William. Okay.
Second question was?
Like there is a scientific reference that for every action there is a reaction. Now, when we talk about the karmic patterns and the Sanchit Karma, so there may not be an instant reaction, there may be a latent reaction. And just out of my curiosity, that is there any scientific reference to this also, our karmic patterns?
Of course, karma is science. Cause and effect.
Oh, yes.
Law of karma is science, absolute science. You swing your hand in the air, there is a displacement of air. Cause and effect. Action and reaction. Science, pure science. There is no way out.
Got it, William.
Right. Karma is a law of karma is absolute science. Bhagavad Gita is a book of science. In our yogic interpretation or Avadhuta's interpretation, it's a book of science. For us, we look at it very rationally, everything. Devoid of mumbo jumbos. In order to continue, how Avadhuta looks at Pandavas and Draupadi. For us, Pancha Pandavas are 5 elements. The earth, the water, the air, the fire, and the ether. Draupadi is Kundalini, the Chaitanya, which holds all the 5 elements together. Our interpretation. Same thing. We look at it in a different way. Right?
Yeah, we have one more. I'm so sorry, everyone. I really apologize.
Please go ahead.
Just triggered some thoughts here. So, how I got in touch with you is because I was dealing with certain situations, okay, and I was not able to come out of it. So when I met you, there was a hope, a desire, an expectation that okay, I will be able to come out of that. Now, this deed of mine was not nishkam. It was with an expectation, with a desire. And now also, for example, I asked you when we were talking about the Virat Dhyan, that lie down and focus on the Virat, and it will cure you of the problems, the insomnia. So now I'm just thinking that everything that I'm doing to get something in return. It could be maybe giving rest to my body, sleeping, or meditation, so that I can reach to that state where I'm away from my emotions. I work on my emotions.
I understood
Is
the
that a
question.
nishkam? Is that a nishkam?
I
Or
understood the question.
yeah, okay.
The question is that whatever, how do you define your relationship with any desire to get better? Nishkama Karma, correct. Now,
Correct. Absolutely.
you go for a buffet dinner. When you see an excellent spread at the dinner, you fill your plate with lot of things, everything. Okay, I want to have this, everything I want to. You have loaded your plate with it. Then you sit at the table where you can't finish it. When you shed the body, before taking the body, another birth, you look at your container of Sanchit Karma and you say that I will take so many things so that I am done with it. So you pour yourself with all the more than what you can comprehend, and I mean more than what you can endure. That is the cause of our suffering. You have served yourself more than what you can eat. Now, in a buffet, you can leave the food and walk away. But in life, you can't. When you cannot, when you are so stressed, your condition is unbearable. And you put out a thought, you put out a prayer. There comes a guru. He pulls you. He'll tell you, come. I know you have served yourself more than what you can endure in this birth. So if you have served yourself that you have to be hit by a rock, I'll throw a small pebble at you. Same thing in a symbolic way. I'm there, don't worry. I'll take care of you. And so he does. That is not desire. Avariciousness is what you are saying is karma. Avaricious, more, worldly. I already have some, I want more and more and more. Here it is, it is unbearable. That doesn't amount to a karma with calm. That amounts to a sense of surrenderance. Lord, I can't bear this, Guru, my Guru, I can't, please, can you look after, can you take care? I want to have a better health. When it is Nishkama Karma, despite all these things, what you are going to do with your pleasant realities of life? When it is for a self-evolution, progression, evolve and dissolve, the path to evolve and dissolve, then it does not amount to Kamena Karma. It still remains Nishkama Karma. So what you are practicing is not devoid of Nishkama. What is your eventual goal? It is not driven by avariciousness. It is always driven by the deed of self-evolution to evolve and dissolve. So you are yet performing Nishkama Karma. Because the purpose is well defined. To serve the cause of the divine, for which I want the body to be in a perfect position, perfect state, for which I want to have my financial stability, for which my overall purpose is that, Lord. For that, these are required. When you want to give, it is left to you. Nishkama also means that not lack of desire. I know I'm going to get, I am putting out a thought that I want something, but when it has to come, how it has to come is left to you, Lord. And my purpose is pure. My overall purpose is to evolve and dissolve in you. Then it continues to be a Nishkama Karma. And out of compassion that you cannot finish what you have served on your plate in this birth, Guru walks in. He removes the dishes that you have served in your plate. Some he eats himself. Some he says that just take a taste of it. Some he actually removes. Some he keeps it for the birth after. That's how it works. Right?
Got it, Vivek. Got it. It's beautiful, Vivek. Thank you so much.
Right? It is already 8:35. So we started at 6:30. 2 hours, a little over. So should we call it a day? Next, we will take up E is equal to mc square. Theory of, which is that theory is equal, the velocity and light, travel of light. It basically thinks about mass.
Theory of relativity.
We'll take it up. How it is explained. Is light a wave? Is it a ray? Is it a field? Let's talk. Right. So should we call it a day?